Hi, everyone. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining today. This webinar is LiquidSpace 101, and I'm Lisa Judd. I'm a Partner Success Manager at LiquidSpace. Joining me today to answer some questions at the end is my colleague, Ricky Dorman, who's Director of Strategic Partnerships at LiquidSpace. This webinar will be recorded and shared out this week, and we will have a Q&A session at the end of the webinar, so please feel free to submit any questions throughout the webinar in the Q&A field. As far as the agenda for today's webinar, we'll have a quick LiquidSpace introduction, and then I'll be touching upon Workspace reentry. Then I'll be going through a LiquidSpace product demo as to how to best manage a LiquidSpace profile as a venue. Following the product demo, we'll have a Q&A session. And once again, feel free to submit those questions via the Q&A form. For those of you who aren't as familiar with LiquidSpace, we are the largest network of flexible office spaces. We have over 11,000 locations in 2,500 different cities. To date, we've done 6 million bookings with over 100,000 companies. LiquidSpace allows companies to discover space, transact, and manage their flexible office portfolios through our product. We offer 3 different types of product offerings. The first is hourly space, which can be instantly booked. Examples of hourly spaces include meeting rooms, co-working, event spaces, and private offices available on a daily basis. The second product we offer is monthly space. This is dedicated space that is typically leased for a month or longer. Examples include open seating desks, dedicated desks, private offices, and office suites. And then our third product is our enterprise solutions. These are services that are available for our enterprise clients who are looking to develop their flexible office programs. This includes our mobility manager program. As a platform, we work with both demand partners, so companies and teams, as well as different venues. On the demand side, we work primarily with enterprise customers, individuals, teams, and many startups who are looking for space on a flexible basis. And we connect them directly to venues. On the supply side, we divide our marketplace into 3 different categories. We have Workspace as a service, which includes co-working spaces and business centers. We also work with private businesses or companies who are looking to sublease their space. And the third category is landlords who offer space on a flexible basis. For those of you who joined our previous webinar, How to Maximize Revenue on LiquidSpace, this visual might be familiar, but I briefly wanted to touch upon this again. This visual represents how we envision companies returning to the workplace. We believe the future workplace is going to have 3 distinct components: working from home, plus flex, plus core. We also believe that those who are mostly happy working from home, but may need drop-in space or space nearby their home, combined with the de-densification of headquarters and corporate campuses, will lead to a new demand for flexible office space, and that the potential scale of this could be very substantial. Based on the current demand signals that we are receiving from clients, we believe that there will be 3 main categories for flexible workspace demand moving forward. The first is collaborative workspace on demand. This includes meeting rooms and conference rooms, and we believe that these will be needed on an hourly or daily basis. Then there's individual workspace, which will be needed on both an on-demand and as dedicated space. This would primarily include private offices. And third is team workspace. This would be dedicated space for teams that are no longer working out of headquarters. These teams will be looking for space that is close to home and private. Acknowledging these 3 categories, we recommend merchandising your spaces and location for the demand that's coming once reentry begins and continues. We believe it's important to have these 3 types of inventory listed in your LiquidSpace profile, and I'll be walking you through exactly how to do that. Now that we've covered a quick LiquidSpace introduction and our thoughts on reentry, I'll be providing a demo of how to manage a LiquidSpace profile as a venue. So let me stop sharing my deck screen real quick and move over to a browser. So what we're looking at now is the LiquidSpace marketplace. This is where individuals, teams, and companies come to look for space that's available on a monthly or hourly basis. They're able to search based on the region that they're looking for and different filter requirements. So here you can see when someone comes to search, they can search by space type, whether looking for a desk, a suite, or an office, the price range, capacity, square footage, the environment that they want to be in, certain amenities and services that they're looking for in neighborhoods as well. As they apply these different search requirements, you'll see tiles here that will populate with the different options that meet their requirements. And they can also look on the map and hover over pins, which represent locations that offer space on a flexible basis, to see exactly what their options are. As you'll notice here, we recently added a health and safety policy product update. This allows venues to add a health and safety policy to their profile. And when they do so, it's applied to all their spaces. So you can see that I've already filtered by spaces with a health and safety policy. If you haven't done so, we highly recommend adding a health and safety policy to your profile because it informs companies and individuals who are looking for space what your health and safety policy is and allows them comfort and confidence when they're booking a space. If I was to click on one of those pins on the map, here's an example of a profile. We have car workplaces at Embarcadero Center in San Francisco. They are currently confirmed as open. This is another product update in response to COVID-19. Venues can confirm whether they are fully open, which would mean that they're also accepting bookings from non-members for their meeting rooms and hourly daily spaces. You can also select limited, which means that you're open to your members currently, but you're not open to non-members. And that would automatically mark your hourly and daily spaces as closed temporarily. And then the third option is temporarily closed. And I'll walk you through on the back end exactly how to add your health and safety policy and confirm that venue open status. Up top, you can see pictures of the common area of the location. Car Workplace has added a video here. Here's a map of exactly where the location is, and then followed by some space-specific photos. Each venue has an opportunity to brand themselves as they would like. So here you can see that Car Workspace's logo. They've named themselves Car Workplaces with that location name. Below that, you can see the health and safety policy for this location. They're directing to a link on their website that has an updated status, but you can actually copy and paste your health and safety policy in here directly as well. Next to that, you'll see some reviews. These are reviews for their hourly and daily spaces, such as their meeting rooms. Venues who have positive reviews for these spaces are more likely to show high within our search results. Below that, you can see a property description. This information is very easy to edit, and I'll be showing you how to do that within Venue Manager. Here we recommend adding some details about your brand, if there's any amenities that come with your property, and then anything that someone should know around the surrounding area, as well as any transportation details. If I scroll down, a user will first see your monthly spaces that are available. So here you can see the different office spaces that they have listed. If someone is interested in a specific office space, they can click off to learn a little bit more. You can see that health and safety policy still is published here. They can see square footage, a space description that's been inputted. And if they're interested in that space, they're most likely to schedule a tour directly through LiquidSpace. By clicking that orange button, they'd be able to select a date, a time, they'd enter in a message. They have the option to add their desired move-in date, the duration of which they're looking to stay, and then their full name, email, phone, and company information would populate. They then click the Schedule My Tour button, and whoever's been added to your profile would receive a message as well as an email with this information, and you have the opportunity to accept the tour, reschedule the tour, decline, or you can respond back to that user if you have any questions for them. If I go back to the profile to the hourly spaces, you can see that they have 5 different spaces that are available on an hourly or daily basis, 3 of those being meeting rooms, and they also have some private offices listed here. We're able to integrate directly with your calendar system, and this ensures that your real-time availability is reflected within your LiquidSpace profile. All bookings for these hourly and daily spaces are made in real time, so it's important that we do have that calendar integration set up. We're able to integrate with all major calendars, and if you do not have this integration set up, we highly recommend reaching out to support@liquidspace.com to get this actioned. When a space is already booked, whether it's by one of your members or elsewhere, that space would be blocked out in red and would not give the option for someone coming to LiquidSpace to book that space at the same time. Additionally, when that space is booked, it will populate on your members' calendars through that two-way integration. If you need to add a new location to LiquidSpace, you can go up to this List Space button, click that List My Space. It will take you to a page where you're entering your property address, and then through a few different other prompts that will essentially get you set up with the back end of a profile. Now I'll walk you through that back end of our profile, which is what we call Venue Manager. So each location has an individual profile. If you do have multiple locations, you can easily maneuver between them by clicking this My Venues button at the top of your screen. And any profiles that you've been added to, you can easily navigate between them there. To get back to that public-facing view, you can always click Preview, which can show you what your profile looks like from a public view. Currently, I'm in the venue setup section of the profile. This is where you'll be managing all your property-specific details. Up top, you can see that this venue has been confirmed to be open. If you need to change that open status, you can do so by clicking there. And there are those three options of open, limited status, and temporarily closed. Below that at the top, you have the option to enable your health and safety policy. So here you can add any information that you would like around your health and safety policy. And once you do so, you will get that badge and it will be applied to all your spaces within our marketplace. Scrolling down, we have a profile name. Please note that this profile is just for LiquidSpace internal use. So this is just an example of something that we use internally, but demo just is a tech term. Below that, we have an address. So if you need to add a floor or suite number, you can do so via the address section. Scrolling down, we have a phone number listed here. The phone number that you'll be asked to enter would just be the best point of contact for our sales team to reach you out should they have a good monthly lead that they think could be a good fit for your location. You also have the opportunity to add a Twitter handle. If you decide to do so, within your public profile at the bottom, your most recent tweets will populate. Below that is that property description. So feel free to enter in any information about your location or the surrounding area. If you need to edit, you can do so here. And then below is where you add that logo. So if you need to change it, you can just upload a new image. In the next section, we have payment information. So as I mentioned, all hourly and daily bookings on LiquidSpace are made in real time. So users are paying directly through LiquidSpace. And at the end of each month, we're collecting a lump sum of those payments and sending them to you directly through whatever information you list here. You can decide how you would like to accept that payment, so you can do so via check, ACH, or PayPal. For those hourly and daily spaces, our fee structure is tiered. So the first time booking for an individual or team, it's a 50% fee. The second time booking, it's a 25% fee. And then the third booking and every booking thereafter is a flat 10% fee. For monthly bookings, you also have the ability to transact through LiquidSpace using our payment platform and our Dash license. To receive payment, it would be very similar here. You just need to enter in the information and how you would like to receive it. The fee structure for any monthly deals is a flat 10% fee, and that includes all credit and transaction fees as well. When you do set up your profile, we ask that you fill all this information out, ensure that this is the correct email for all accounts receivable and for payment. And then if you would like to expedite payment, you can always select ACH over check. Scrolling down, we have the team member section. So for each of your locations, you can decide which users have access to those locations. So here you can see we have quite a few on our end. To add a new team member, you just click that button here. You can add their first name, last name, email. You can upload an image, and then you can set the role for that individual. Venue owner and venue host are very similar roles. The only main difference is that a venue owner can delete other people on the profile. So most people will be venue hosts. You also have the option to select your notification preferences. So if someone wants access to log into LiquidSpace, but doesn't want to receive an email or message every time there's a tour request, you can turn off those notification preferences here. To delete someone, you just go in and then you can delete them here if you are that venue owner. And then the primary host that's selected here is just the public-facing individual on the profile. If you are set to be that public-facing individual as that contact, we suggest adding a picture to your profile, as that will populate on your public profile. If I scroll down, these next sections are only applicable to your hourly and daily spaces. So when someone does book your meeting room or conference room or private office that's available on a daily basis, you can add in a custom greeting that they can receive, as well as entry instructions here. Scrolling down, you can also set the guest hours of when these spaces are available, as well as the observed holidays of when they're not available. If you need to add any advanced options around when these spaces are available, you can do so here in the advanced options section. Now I'll move over to the spaces section of the profile, and this is where you can manage all your monthly and hourly spaces. Up top, you can see these monthly ones, and then if I scroll down, you can see hourly spaces. There are 3 different statuses that can be set for a space. The first one is public, which means it's visible within the LiquidSpace marketplace. If it's an hourly space, that means it's visible and available for booking on demand. The second status is private. That would mean that the space is only available or visible to someone with a private link, and the LiquidSpace sales team would be able to see that as well. And the final option is hidden. That means it's not visible to anyone. If you have your spaces listed and a space is no longer available, we recommend marking that from public to hidden. If I was to click into a space, here we have a monthly space. Up top, it says it's available now. If this space was going to be available in the future, it's really easy to set an availability date, and you can do so directly here. As you make changes, I always recommend that you do save them. Clicking back into that space, you have that space name up top. Very easy to edit that information if you need to do so. As far as listing type, you're able to select whether a space is an hourly space, a day pass, or monthly. In this case, it's been set to monthly, and as a result, the space options are visible here. If you have any questions about what a office suite is in comparison to a team office, you can see the definitions on the right-hand side right here. By selecting a monthly private office space, you then need to enter in capacity and square footage, and you have the option to add a space description, although we highly recommend doing so to provide a little more information about what the space looks like and what amenities it includes. To add photos to your profile and to that space, you do so here in the photo section. So you click this upload more photos button, they'll populate in this upper area, but in order for them to show within your profile, you actually have to drag and drop them into that private office 112 space or the common area. And you can reorder these photos as you would like them to show up within your profile. As I showed you in the public-facing view, you'll see these common area photos first, followed by any space-specific photos. Below the photo section, you have the opportunity to add a video tour, a virtual tour, or a PDF flyer. For video tours, we accept YouTube links, and for virtual tours, we accept Matterport URLs. Scrolling down, price and terms are set on that space level. So to add that monthly price, you can do so here. You'll be able to select the minimum term that you like. Deposit's going to default to a 1-month deposit, but you can also select no deposit or 2 months. If you would like to collect a one-time setup fee, you can do so and enter in that price here. And then you also have the options to offer discounts for extended terms. So if you want to encourage users to stay for a longer period up front, you can do so at a discounted rate, enter in that discount, and it will auto-populate. Below is the amenities and services section, and these are the different filters that users are able to search by within our marketplace. So it's really important that these are selected for each of your spaces. Up top, you can select the amenities and services that come with all of your spaces or your building. It's very easy to select and deselect there. And then below, for each space that you would add, you can set the amenities and services that come with that space in particular. So once again, very easy to select and deselect. If the space is furnished and has Wi-Fi, you want to make sure that these are selected. If there's any additional information that you'd like to add about these services, you can do so here. In the last part of the space, we have the Dash license, and this is our license agreement that allows you to transact for your monthly spaces utilizing our payment platform. And if you'd like to check out our Dash license, you can click here within a space and download the PDF to review it. If there are any additional house rules that you need to add for that space, you can do so here. And if there are any building rules that you need to add for your location, you can do so here as well. Once again, just always make sure that you're saving in the upper right-hand corner. If I scroll down to hourly spaces, I have an example here of a meeting room. Since I selected hourly as the listing type and made it a private meeting room, some of the fields are a little different that I wanted to walk you through. The main difference is the pricing. For your hourly and daily spaces, you can set pricing on the per hour, per half day, or per day. If possible, we recommend adding that per half day and per day at a discounted rate to encourage users to book for a longer period up front. Additionally, the amenities and services will change because this is a meeting room versus a monthly space. If I go back to spaces, just note that to add a new space, you can just click this button up here and it will give you a blank field to start adding a new space to your profile. Dashboard represents your sales pipeline for your monthly deals. Up top, you'll see We recently introduced Venue Score back in Q4 of 2019, and this ranks venues on 3 different factors and directly impacts your visibility within our search results. The first factor of your venue score is freshness, and this applies directly to your monthly confirm via email, or you can click the link and it'll take you to your LiquidSpace profile where you can spaces, make any changes that you need to, and confirm directly there. We ask that venues confirm every 30 days, and venues who do so are more likely to show higher within our search results. The second factor is responsiveness, and this is responsiveness to any new messages. So if someone's reaching out for a tour request, we ask that you respond within 24 hours to that team or individual. By doing so, you'll have a high responsiveness score and you're more likely to show higher within our search results once again. You can see here that this location has not had enough messages within the last 90 days to receive a responsiveness score. Please note that if this is the case for you, when it comes to responsiveness or conversion, this will not negatively impact your search results. And then the last factor is conversion score. This is based on the number of monthly deals that are coming through and how many of those monthly deals actually turn into bookings. Venues who have a really high conversion rate are more likely to be shown within our search results. In the dashboard, you'll see it broken down into new deals, active deals, and closed deals. New deals represents people who have reached out for a tour request, they're interested in seeing a space, and this is just monthly interest. Once you engage with that deal, they become an active deal. So here you can see some examples of active deals. Let's say, for example, here, Ricky Dorman from LiquidSpace recently toured a location and you think she'd be a great fit. You can directly approve her to book via LiquidSpace, and you can approve her to book online or offline. So by approving her to book online, you'd select the space that you're approving her to book for. If the space is not listed here, you can add that space to your profile. And then by approving her to book, Ricky would receive an email from LiquidSpace letting her know you've been approved to book by a Clubhouse demo for this space. Please enter your payment information, and she'd be able to transact right then and there. If you prefer that Ricky transact offline and you're using your own payment method and agreement, you can do so and send them instructions to book directly here. If this is the case, we would ask that you report that deal back to LiquidSpace via your dashboard, which I'll show you how to do next, and we would invoice you directly for that our 10% fee upfront. So if that was the case, and Ricky did close offline, you can let us know by going to that active lead, clicking that close one button, and you can enter in the basic deals of the basic terms of the deal. So you would select the space that she booked, you can enter in the term length, any other information that we should know, and confirm right there. If a deal has been lost, you can also let LiquidSpace know, and this goes directly to our sales team. So you would just say, deal has been lost, and you can let us know a reason here. Once you update that deal to close won or close lost, it will populate in the below section. So you can view all your close lost deals, and then any won deals, you can view the reservation details here and edit them as needed. Below that, we have the prospect section, and prospects represent people within LiquidSpace who have created a saved search. So these users have opted into receiving what we call proposals from venues. So as an example here, Jenny W was looking for an office for 15 starting ASAP. She's looking in Oakland under this zip code, and her budget range is up to $6,000, and she viewed 2 listings. Jenny may not have viewed your profile, so if you have an office for 15 within that budget range that you think could be a good fit for her, you can send her a proposal directly. And to do so, you just click that Create Proposal button. You can select the space that you want to send, and then you can customize the message to Jenny. If Jenny's interested in that space that you sent, she could respond back, and you can suggest a tour time. And that is your dashboard, and this sums up the product demo section of the webinar. So I'll go back now to our PowerPoint deck. Please note that this webinar, LiquidSpace 101, will be available every 3 weeks. So if someone on your team would benefit from joining this webinar, they will be able to join a live one in 3 weeks, and we'll be sending out the invitation when we send out the recording as well of this webinar.